What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Today I have a ton of products to talk about. I have everything laid out right in front of me, and it's kind of overwhelming because I'm sharing with you guys my 2015 favorites and my most used up products. I know. So I know this is going to be a long video. Make sure to grab a pen and a notepad because there's a lot of stuff in here that is drugstore and a lot of stuff in here that is just really good that you have to try if you haven't already. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and move on to the products. So I'm going to go in the order that I apply the products. So I'm going to start off with the brows, and I have 3 products that I have been using a ton within the past year. The first one that I'm going to mention is my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. The writing is already almost completely off, but I have this in the shade medium to dark brown, I want to say. And if you are looking for a brow gel, affordable brow gel, grab this one. I know they have it in clear, and I think they have a lighter one, but I obviously have darker brows, so I went for this one. I do want to get the clear one too, but this is a very, very good brow gel. Literally gel for your brows. Another one that has saved my brows is the Benefit Gimme Brow, and I got this one when I went to the Benefit and Ipsy Open Studios event, and I have not stopped using it ever since. It is a perfect brow gel, and the applicator is so small. It is perfect to put right in the brows, and it helps to not get product like underneath or on top of your brow, because that can be frustrating if you do your brows after your eyes. So this one is really, really good. Another product that I've gone through a ton is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, but I ran out of that one, so I don't have it with me. But that is another product that I've gone through like maybe 3 or 4 of them within this past year. And then the other one that I have is the Dipbrow Pomade, which is what I'm wearing on my brows right now. And this is also in the shade dark brown. And I love this stuff for a bold brow, but I also like this for more of a natural brow to just fill in any sparse areas. I love using this product when my brows are freshly done because it fills them in like a dream. Love this product. Moving on to primers, I have 2 face primers and I have an eye primer. The 2 face primers that I have, the first one is from L'Oreal, and it's the Revitalift Miracle Blur. I use this in so many tutorials, and I still have some. And I have mine in the oil-free version. There is one that isn't oil-free, and then there's the oil-free one. I have oily skin. I need this one. If you want something that's going to smooth out your pores, it's going to smooth out any wrinkles before putting your foundation, then I would highly recommend this. And this is a little bit more on the pricier side for being a drugstore product, but it is skincare, and a lot of skincare stuff tends to be more on the pricier side. Another primer that I've been loving is the NYX Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer. This is also oil free, and I don't know what it is about this primer that makes my makeup look so good. This is like a cream formula. It's not silicone based like the L'Oreal Revitalift Miracle Blur. This is more of a cream, and I seriously don't know what it is, but it makes my skin look so good. I'm wearing it underneath my foundation right now, and I love this primer. Love this primer. It's very smooth, very velvety, and it just makes your makeup look bomb. And then the last primer is for the eyes, and this is the Pro Longwear Paint Pot from MAC in Soft Ochre. It helps my eyeshadow not crease, and it also helps to make my eyeshadows more pigmented. I do go in with a translucent powder to set this afterwards because it is a cream, but I really do love this primer. It's one of the only primers that I actually see a difference with. Next, moving on to foundations, I have 3 foundations, and the one that I'm going to talk about first is the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. And again, a lot of people use this foundation, but it is a really good foundation. I know I'm going to keep saying really good and really flawless. I have like 3 or 4 shades in this. This one right here is W6, but I normally use W4.5 or W5, and this is one of the most natural looking foundations that I own. The next one up is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, and you guys, if you have oily skin, you need this in your life if you do not have it already. I am not even kidding you. I actually haven't wore this foundation in the winter time because it is too matte for me, and I've never had that problem with a foundation. This foundation in the summertime is heaven. I kid you not. The longer that I wear this, the better that it looks. When my oils start to kind of seep through, it looks really nice and really glowy, but it still controls my oil, if that makes any sense. Next to my True Match is my favorite foundation from the drugstore. Amazing. Not even from the drugstore, like my favorite foundation that I've tried so far, because this is the only foundation that I have found that controls my oils 100%. The last foundation I have is one of my recent ones that I have purchased and featured in my videos, and this is the Lancome Teint Idole 24-hour foundation. And if you've watched my last few videos, you know how much I have been using this. This is such a good foundation. I don't know what I was doing before this. This foundation is the perfect natural matte finish. I mentioned in one of my last videos that I always recommend this to my clients who have oily skin or normal skin, sometimes even dry skin, and just about everybody that I've tried this on has fallen in love with this foundation. They came out with a stick form of this, and I probably shouldn't spend more money on another Lancome Teint Idole foundation, but I really want to try that stick form to see if it's the same or if it's better. But honestly, a holy grail foundation. If you have not tried this foundation, give it a try. Moving on to concealers, I actually have 4 that I've been using like crazy, and the first one I'm going to talk about is actually one that I haven't wore in a while, and this is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. I'm completely out of this. Don't ask me why I still have it sitting with my makeup, but I am completely out of this, and I wore this a ton in like the first half of last year. I want to say maybe the middle too. Very creamy, easy to blend. It's also pretty buildable. You can go in with a very thin layer and go in with a second layer if you would like. And I feel like this is a staple in a lot of people's makeup collection. The next one that I have to share is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and as you can see, I'm almost out of it. But this is another concealer that has very good coverage. It can be a little bit heavy to some, and to a lot of people I've heard that it creases underneath the eyes, but if you set this with a translucent powder, I think you'll be fine. But if you like full coverage and you want a concealer that's going to last all night long, I would highly recommend this. The next ones that I have are the LA Girl Pro Conceals, and you guys, these are cheap. I kid you not, I probably have like 10 of these. I have a few of them in my kit because I'm building my makeup kit. Crazy. But I have a few of them in my kit, and I have a few of them in my makeup collection, and these are another staple. These are very good coverage. They're also very blendable. There's tons of shades. They even have color correcting shades, which I think is amazing because these are only like $3. If you don't like them for the under eyes, you can use them to contour, you can use them to bronze, you can use them to color correct. There's so many things you can use these concealers for, and they're so inexpensive. And lastly, my completely used up Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is all out. There's no more. I love this for highlighting. I don't know so much about coverage. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I like this more to just highlight underneath my eyes. I have found that this breaks me out though, and I know that it's because of the little applicator. The little sponge, I'm sure there is tons of bacteria in there, which is not good. If they had this in a like pump out container like the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, then we're talking, because this cannot be sanitary at all. Moving on to powders, I have 3 to share with you guys. 2 of them are loose and 1 of them is a pressed one. The first one is the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder, and this is in the color Transparent. And as you guys can see, I've hit major pan. Not even joking. If you need something that's going to keep you matte all day long, but you don't want to add a ton of coverage, definitely use this. This is also one that I use to set my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot so it will not crease. Then of course I have my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and a lot of people actually included this in their yearly favorites because it's a really good powder. Again, doesn't add a lot of coverage and it's transparent, so if you want something again that's going to keep you matte all day, go for something like this one. It doesn't have color, so it's not going to alter the color of your foundation or your concealer. You can use this to bake or cook underneath the eyes. You can use this to set underneath the eyes, and you can use this to set the rest of your face. Lastly, I have the Ben Nye Luxury Powder in the color Banana. I like to use this more in the summertime because that's when I'm more tan and I can get away with a yellow powder. Does the exact same thing that the Laura Mercier translucent powder does, but this one is just tinted. So for bronzing up the face, I sometimes like to use powders. Most of the time I use powders, but if I want to do something a little bit more dramatic or if I'm going out, I like to use a cream. So the cream that I have been using this past year is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation stick, and this is what it looks like. When I use this, I try to avoid the color that's in the middle of the foundation stick, so I typically go in like this. It is shine free, but I have seen a few reviews of this, and people with oily skin say that they do get oily throughout the day, so I feel like this would be a good foundation for people who have normal to dry skin. Then I have my NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder, and this is what the front of it looks like. This I want to say is like $2 or $3, maybe even less, I don't know. I've already hit pan as well. I just hit pan like a few weeks ago, but if you need a bronzer that is buildable and that is not going to look cakey, I would recommend this one. I actually use this over my Benefit Hoola bronzer. My Benefit Hoola bronzer leaves me looking really chalky, and it leaves like a really weird color on me. I know a lot of people love that bronzer, but for me it just does not work for some reason. It's just the perfect shade for me, and I can just build this up without it looking chalky. Then I have my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Give Me Sun, and that is what that looks like. It's kind of similar in shade to the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzer. This one's a little bit more orange. I like to use this to both bronze and to contour my face, and I know people like to contour with ashy colors, but I actually like using bronzy colors. I just feel like they look better on my skin because I do have yellow undertones. Maybe it's just me, but I like using like bronzy colors to contour, and this is one of my favorite ones. Moving on to my highlight, I have my Ride or Die e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow, and yes, this is an eyeshadow, and this is in the color Enchanted. I cannot remember where I purchased this because now I can't find it anywhere else. I actually wanted to stock up on this because I think it was like $1 or $3, and it is such a pretty eyeshadow to use as a highlight. I actually got this idea from It's My Ray Ray. I saw her use this a while back and I had to try it out. I see why she was obsessed with this color. It is perfect. Then I have, of course, Becca and Jaclyn Hill's Champagne Pop, another gold highlight. This is super pigmented, super pigmented. So if you do get this, be very light-handed with it, because if you put a lot, it's gonna look really bold, trust me. I don't even have much to say about this because it speaks for itself. Like, it's just a really good highlight. And then the other one that I have is the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood, which is the one I'm wearing on my face right now. I feel like this one is a little bit less gold than the Champagne Pop, at least on my hand. For my blushes, I have two. One is from the drugstore, one is high-end. The one from the drugstore is the Milani Blush in Luminoso. Really pretty, like, peach color, and it actually has a little bit of shimmer in it as well. I feel like this is a blush that goes with just about every skin tone. The Milani blushes are all really, really good. If you haven't tried them, give them a try. And then the other one that I have is MAC's Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush, and this is in Sunbask. It's also a little bit coral, but it's a lot deeper than Luminoso. And this one also kind of has a little tiny bit of shimmers in it, but barely noticeable. And another buildable blush. Then I have mascaras, and I have 3 mascaras to share. The first one is the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. I'm also out of this one. I don't know why I have it in my makeup collection still, but love this one. They also have a waterproof one, which I want to try, but this one is really nice to make your eyelashes look longer, and it is the perfect applicator for your lower lashes. Then I have the Rimmel Lash Accelerator. I just started using this one a few months ago, I think, and this is also a really good one to make your lashes longer. The one I like to use to make them fuller though is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. This one makes them super fluffy, super full, and you can go in with a few coats of this and it's not going to make your lashes look really clumpy. If you do like your lashes to look more separated, I would do this one and go in with the L'Oreal Telescopic one after, or with the Rimmel Lash Accelerator. But this one on its own is amazing. And for liners, I only have one eyeliner to share, and it's the Maybelline Line Stiletto Liquid Eyeliner. And I'm also completely out of this one. I love the applicator because although it does look pretty long, it's easy to use. I don't struggle with this at all to do my eyeliner, and it is super black. Let me see if I can show you guys. It's right there, and you can see it's really, really black. All right, so I'm almost done here. No, I'm not. I still have a lot. Okay, so we're gonna move on to lips. So for liners, I like to use the MAC lip liners. These are so creamy, so pigmented, so easy to work with. I have Spice and I have Strip Down. I also have Night Moth. I don't know where it is, but I love these. They're super easy to work with. But I actually like the Milani Color Statement lip liners a little bit more than the MAC ones. I find that these are the creamiest eyeliners that I've ever tried. Did I say eyeliner? I meant lip liner. These are so bomb, so creamy, I can't even explain. And the colors are amazing. I also have one in Spice, and I also have another one in All Natural. I also have more of a corally one, which is Bordeaux. But these, every time I go to Walmart, they're sold out of like every color. So if you can get your hands on these, try these. I would recommend these before trying the MAC ones. Then for liquid lipsticks, we all know that liquid lipsticks were a big hit this past year, and I have been loving the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. I have them in the shade Bow and Arrow, Lolita, who doesn't have it, in Lolita, and LUV. This one I bought a long time ago. This is actually the first one that I purchased from Kat Von D. Then I got Lolita, then I got Bow and Arrow. I do sometimes have to go in with a lip balm or a chapstick after applying it because they can be a little bit drying on the lips. But I like these because I don't need to apply a lip liner with these. They're very easy to apply, very pigmented. I really like those. Then I have the ColourPop Lippies also. These are the Ultra Matte Lips, and I have them in the shade Avenue, Deeper, and Limbo. I'm wearing Limbo right now. My camera just turned off on me, pretty much telling me that I'm talking too much. But anyway, these are kind of similar to the Kat Von D ones in the sense that they're a little bit drying. So I would, again, suggest a lip balm or something with these. But colors are good. They have tons of colors in these. They also have lip liners and other lip colors. I'm sure you guys have heard of ColourPop, but these are really nice. I also don't use lip liners with these because they're pretty easy to apply. Gorgeous colors. And then lastly are MAC lipsticks. I used a lot of MAC lipsticks last year. I have a lot of different shades. I have some in my kit and I have some here, and they've just been around for so long that you just really cannot go wrong with them. They're really creamy, super pigmented, and they're really nice on the lips. They're not drying, and I don't know, they just go with just about everybody. And now moving on to eyeshadows. I have a few actually. I have the Milani eyeshadows. I feel like I used these in a few tutorials last year, so I thought I would give these a nice little mention. The one that I like the most is Bella Copper. This is what it looks like. Super pretty color. I also have Bella Black, but this one's not as black. It comes off more of like a gray. And then I have Bella Champagne. Then I have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, which is still one of my favorite palettes. Love this palette. So universal. I feel like I'm blinding you. I feel like so many people can use this palette. There are some purple shades, there are some brown shades, some golds. You also have a green, like a forest green, dark brown, some champagne colors. Really nice palette. This one right here in particular has been my favorite. Then the last few months of the year, I started using Makeup Geek shadows, and I actually also have a MAC eyeshadow. So I'm barely building up my little Z palette. This one is from Sephora, but I have the shade Nylon from MAC, and then I have Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek, which I feel like everybody loves. Then I have Preppy from Makeup Geek, which I feel like a lot of people don't use, but this is a really nice color. It's like a brown with a little bit of olive in it. I don't know. It's a really nice color. Then I have Creme Brulee from Makeup Geek as well, which I like to use as my transition shade. Lastly, but of course not least, is my Morphe 350 palette, which is this one right here. Just look at it. I mean, do I really have to even say anything? If you love neutral eyes, if you love smoky eyes, if you love glittery eyes, anything that you like, you can make with this palette. If you love the way that warm tone eyeshadows look on you, get this. Just look at it. Warm tone heaven. Last few products that I have some lashes, and then I have a few like miscellaneous stuff. So lashes that I've been using, I'm not going to go into numbers in specific, but I've been loving Christina lashes. These are, I think they're like $1 at my local beauty supply store. And then lately I've been into Salon Perfect lashes. Love these eyelashes because they're so lightweight. You cannot feel these on your eyes at all. And then the other ones that I love are the Ardell ones. I don't have any right now, but I use those a lot the past year. Those three brands of lashes have literally been my favorite. They're all lightweight. They have a lot of different styles to complement just about every eye shape. The last few products that I have are miscellaneous. So I have this Duo brush on adhesive. I just discovered this like the last few months too. I used to use the Duo like squeeze out ones, but those can be so frustrating. But this one I have been loving because you can just brush it on your lashes. Super quick, super easy. It doesn't take years to dry because it's not thick like the squeeze out one. I'm like running out of breath because I'm talking so fast. My camera is playing me right now. Okay, so the last few things, I only have 2 things left actually, is my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. Also almost out of this. I mainly love this to prep my skin or to use on my eyeshadows, not necessarily to use after my makeup. If you do have oily skin, I would suggest something like the Urban Decay ones, which I also use but I'm out of. Those are also really, really, really good setting sprays. I specifically use the All Nighter setting spray. Love that one. That's another product that I used up a lot within the past year. Lastly, I have beauty sponges. My Real Techniques one, and then I have my beauty blender. You can see these are well loved because they are just dirty as heck right now. But this one I really like if you're looking for something affordable, but this does the job. I actually sometimes like this a little bit more than the beauty blender because it doesn't take away as much product, I feel like. And this one, I have it in the black one. And if you didn't know, each beauty blender does a different thing. So it's not just different colors. If you look online or sometimes in the Sephora stores, they do have them in different categories. So they each do something different. If you didn't know that, check it out. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so those were all of my most used up products of 2015. And I know I was talking pretty quickly at the end because my camera was just going crazy. But yeah, I hope you guys had a notepad with you, jot everything down, and go pick up some of these products because These have been some of my mains for this past year. I feel like I might have left some stuff out, so if I did, I will make sure to list anything I missed in the description box. Let me know if any of these products are your favorites. If you have any questions about any of the products, leave them down in the comment section. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, all that stuff at the Marie J. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video.